welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a beginner makeup tutorial. So I'm going to show you how I did this makeup look, and I'm going to talk about how I do my makeup and why I do each step. So this video is on a little like video series with the video that I just posted a couple of days ago, which is a makeup starter kit, a drugstore makeup starter kit. So I will link that one right on the screen right now and also in the info box. So in that video I talk about how to like build your makeup collection. In this video I show how to actually apply it. I think if you want to watch this video you should watch the other one before you watch this one. So if you think this sounds interesting, then just keep on watching. So the first thing that I like to start with is either a foundation or a primer. Today I'm going to use a primer just to show you guys. So I'm going to use the NYX Born to Glow Illuminating Primer. So if you have dry skin, you will really like this one. You can just apply it before your foundation and just get a really nice healthy looking glow, and then you can just go in, use a glowy foundation, and you'll get a really nice like glowy face. But because I have a oily skin, I want to show you how you can use this one. So I like to apply this primer everywhere on my skin except for my forehead and also my chin, because these are the only places that I get super oily. So I just like to put this one on my skin just with my fingers. I just think that's the easiest way to do it, and I just always apply my primer with fingers. I just think it's easy. So the foundation that I chose to wear today is the Revlon Colorstay foundation. I think this one is so great, especially for my skin type. This one is the one for combination to oily skin, which is exactly what I have. So I also like to apply this one on the back of my hand. So I'm going to show you one side with a sponge and one side with a brush just to see the difference and the different techniques. So how I apply with the sponge, so this is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. So you can do different things. You can tap it in like this, or with this type of sponge, I actually sometimes like to drag it. I don't do this with the original Beauty Blender, but because this has a flat side, you can actually do it like this, which is a really simple and easy way to do it. The different finish you get with a sponge and a brush is that with a sponge you get more of a glowy look, and also it shears out the foundation a tiny bit because it, you know, gives you that luminosity. And then you can use the other side of the sponge and then like go around the nose just to kind of get to some more, you know, smaller areas. So for this side, I'm going to use my favorite foundation brush. I think this is my favorite one of all time. This is the Real Techniques sculpting brush. So this is like angled. You can also get these types of brushes, which you can just like buff in. This is the Expert Face brush, also really, really good. But this is my favorite one. It's just so good. You can also use it to contour, and with cream products, it's just really, really great. But I'm going to show you how I use this with this brush. I just kind of dab it in like this, and this brush gives really, really great coverage because it is so dense. So I don't like to drag with this one like this. I just like to either buff in circular motions or tap in. And now that we have applied foundation, we can move on to concealer, which is probably my favorite part because this really makes your face look really airbrushed and perfect, and you can just really conceal if you have any problem areas, which I definitely have right now. I have some breakouts. So I love this concealer. This is the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. This is one of my favorite drugstore concealers. I love this. This has really great coverage. Really nice. I love it underneath my eyes and also on, you know, breakouts. So I'm just going to use this one underneath my eyes. This one I do not use to light up my skin. I just use it to cover. So I also apply it around my nose because normally we have some redness around there, and also on the places where I need a little bit of extra coverage. So when it comes to blending in the concealer, you can either use your fingers, which is really nice and easy and doesn't cost anything, and you can also use a brush, and you can also use sponges. So sponges is my favorite way to blend in my concealer. I just feel like it makes it look so smooth and just really blend into the skin really nicely. So this one is nice to get like close right here with the nose, and also really nice to get close to the eye. You can also apply eye primer with this one. And I always like to highlight my face a little bit with a highlight pen. This one is from Loreal and it's called La Touche Magique. This one is so, so great. I really, really like this. So I just twist it up like this and the product get out right here on the brush. So I like to apply it with the brush and blend it in with the sponge. So it depends on your face shape how you want to apply a highlight concealer, but I'm just going to show you the one that I feel like fits the most face shapes, but if you want to know like specifically how to highlight your face, you can just search it up on Google or on YouTube. But I think it will be way too long video if I show like every face shape on my face right now, so I'm just gonna stick with my own face shape. I just like to apply it like in a V form like this underneath the eyes, and I also like to apply it in my inner corners right here just to light up this darker area. And I always like to apply it down my nose. I just feel like it kind of slims my nose a little bit, make it look a little bit thinner. Also a little bit right here on my chin and right over my brows like this. Just really brightens up, really pretty. So I just blend it out with this sponge. So as you can see, this just brightened up my skin, and I just love doing like a highlight method. I personally think this is a must do. I just love the way it looks on my skin. So I like to do that right after I applied like the concealer and highlight underneath my eyes. I like to go directly in and set my concealer unless it starts to crease. So I really like this NYX contour palette like this. I really like these highlight colors, these two. And a little trick, if it has started to crease, you can just take your finger and just blend in the crease, because if you set the concealer while it has creased, you will just set the crease and it will not look good. It will look really dry and weird. I like to use kind of a lot of this. This powder looks really natural on the skin, so you can really pile it on. I also like to set the places that I highlighted my face with those two colors. Then I like to set my face with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder just to keep my skin matte all day long. I remember when I started doing makeup, I just used foundation and then like went directly in with like bronzer and blush and things like that. And I never felt that my foundation actually stayed on my skin, and I was always wondering like, why is my foundation sliding off my face? And the key is to use a setting powder or just like a powder to set the foundation, because this is so important if you feel like your foundation is not staying on your skin. So just put this one all over my skin. Should not take too much powder, because then it can look really powdery and cakey. But I don't think that your skin should feel like sticky. So when it feels really like velvet and soft, then I think you have applied enough powder. So now I'm going to show you how I contour my face. Really easy. So I'm just going to use the same contour kit, the NYX contour kit, and I'm using the color called Sculpt, which is the lightest color and also the most like cool tone color. So I'm using this Real Techniques contour brush. So you want to apply this right underneath your cheekbones. So your cheekbones are right here, and you can just like feel it like going in underneath here, and you want to apply it right here. You can also do this, and then you can see exactly, you know, where that line should be. So because I've done makeup for so many years, I know where I should apply it. But if you think it's hard, you can just do that technique. I can show you guys how I do it if I was doing that technique. So right where you have that kind of natural line, so you should just really blend this in. I also like to take it up right here with my hairline, and I also like to take it right here. This is really nice if you have a double chin. Just kind of darkens this area and makes it more invisible. And if you feel like your forehead is a little bit too big, you can also apply a little bit right on the top here. And I just like to do this anyways, because I think it just kind of ties the whole contour look together. Then I like to bronze my face up, and I use my favorite drugstore bronzer. This is the NYC Sunny Bronzer. Super nice, super easy to use. I really like this one. I like to apply bronzer pretty much the same places that I contoured, but just more, like more all over to get that really sun-kissed look. So I just like to apply like more on top of my cheekbones like this, also on my forehead, a little bit down my nose, and don't forget to bring the bronzer down to your neck so it all ties together. And also do not forget your ears so they're not like white. I like to wait with the blush and the highlight, because normally I feel like if I do my eyes, I just kind of rub it off and, you know, I just have to like reapply it. So I just like to wait with that and move on to the eyes. So before I apply any eyeshadow, I like to apply an eyeshadow primer. I think this is really important. I cannot apply eyeshadows without doing this. So I really like the NYX HD Primer. This one I just apply on my eyelid and also underneath my eyes, because I'm going to apply some eyeshadow right there as well. The key with eyeshadow primer is not to use too much. If you use too much, it will just do the opposite and crease like crazy. You can just blend it in with your finger or like a mini sponge like this. I'm going to go in with this powder. This is the face powder that I use. You can also use a beige eyeshadow, but I just thought for this video it's so easy just to use the same as you used for your face. It's the same thing. I just like to apply this one on my eyelid because normally eyeshadow bases are a little bit sticky and wet, just as I did with the face. So I applied a powder and then bronzer. It just makes it so much easier to blend on top. So then I'm going to go in with my bronzer. So I'm just going to take this on the brush, tap off the excess, and apply this one in my crease. I like to focus most of the color in the outer corner like this, and then when I get a little bit less product, I like to just swipe it into the inner corners. Then just to deepen up the look, I just want to show you how you can do this, and I'm using this eyeshadow from H&M. This one, and this is called Gingerbread, and it's just like a medium but darker brown color. And then focus this one more directly into the crease. This is where my crease is, right here. So I just like to focus this one directly in my crease, back and forth. So now that you have your eyeshadow on, I want to start blending it into the lower lashes. So I'm going in with the Sunny Bronzer, the medium brown color, using this blending brush, and just connect it with this outer edge. As you can see, there's eyeshadow here, and I just sweep it underneath here. And I don't like to go too far into my inner corners, so I just like to focus most of it right here, and then I just like go lightly out here. Then I like to clean up underneath the brows because I think the eyeshadow went a little bit too high up. I'm just using my powder, and I'm just going to apply this underneath my brows just to clean up right here. So for my eyelid, I'm going to use one of my favorite products from the drugstore. This is the L'Oreal Amber Rush eyeshadow. So pretty. These Infallable eyeshadows from L'Oreal are so pretty. These are like pressed pigments. I'm just going to use a flat shader brush like this. You can get this anywhere. I know e.l.f. has really cheap ones. Like, you can find a flat brush like this anywhere. So I'm just going to apply this one on my eyelid. So on my eyelid, I like to tap it in. You can also sweep it on if you want to, but depends on the eyeshadow. Then, because I used that under eye setting powder, it's really easy just to really swipe off any fallouts. With like a brush like this, like a dual fiber brush, or like a stippling brush, you're super easy just to kind of sweep off any fallouts. Then I'm going to go in with mascara, but before I do that, I like to prepare my lashes. So I'm going to use these lashes from House of Lashes. I don't know if you can get House of Lashes at every drugstore all over the world, but I know that I can get it at my drugstore. And I know that I always skip this in my tutorials, how I apply them, so I'm going to show you right now. So I use the Duo Lash Glue. I think this is just the easiest and the best one. I've tried so many different ones, but I just go back to this one. This one takes a little bit of time to get sticky, so I just like to actually squeeze out a little bit right now, and then I like to do my mascara, and then when I am done with my mascara, normally the lash glue is like ready to be used. So I think like around like a minute is like perfect timing. I'm using this L'Oreal Lash Sensational mascara and a lash curler. Not everyone likes to do this, but I need a lash curler because I have really short lashes. So I like to start with the roots and then work my way out like this. You can also do this technique if you want to, or you can just like drag it out. Then I just like to take the excess product on my lower lashes. I don't like to apply another layer on my lower lashes because then it's too wet and you get way too much product and it looks super clumpy. So take an even layer right here. So you shouldn't have too much, but you should not have too little because then it won't stick. You should also have especially some lash glue right here. So I'm just going to put it right on top of my own lashes, as close as possible. This can be really hard and it can be really easy. Depends on if you're lucky. It's important to make it actually stick to your skin. And in that way, I like to take it down like this, and then I can see that it wasn't really... Then I just like to really make sure it sticks to my skin. Now that I'm done with my eyes, I'm just going to move on to my face again and finish off with some blush and highlights. I'm using the Milani Luminoso blush. I feel like everyone applies blush a little bit different, but I really like to just apply it right here, just like kind of on top of my cheekbones, but not too high up. and just kind of blend it out with the bronzer. I also apply a little bit right here. And then for highlight, I'm going to use my favorite sleek Solstice highlight palette. This is so pretty. I love this. So I'm just going to take this peachy color right here on my favorite highlight brush. This is from e.l.f. It is called Blush Brush. Such a random brush, but I love it. It's like one of my favorite brushes ever. So I'm just putting it into the highlight. This is a very intense highlight, so just keep that in mind. As you can see, it's so intense, but it is so pretty. Also, I like to apply a little bit right here when I smile. I get that little bit of extra glow right here on the apples of my cheeks. I really like that little effect. And then I also like to apply a little bit on the tip of my nose, right here. Also down the bridge of my nose. I like to apply a little bit on my cupid bow. And I just feel like I instantly look a lot more glowy, and I just love highlight. Like, I love highlight. So moving on to lips, I'm going to start with a lip liner. I'm using the Jordana Easyliner in the color Tawny. I feel like this works with every color that I use. So I just like to outline my lips completely. So for lipstick, I want to use a liquid lipstick, and I've not tried this one yet, so I'm just really curious to try it. This is the Lip Lingerie from NYX, and this is in the color Satin Ribbon. I really like liquid lipsticks. You can also top it off with a gloss if you want to, but I kind of like this matte look. I think it looks really pretty, so I'm just going to stick with this one. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys liked this video and got some help and some tips and advice in this video on how you can create this makeup look. So I hope you guys felt like I went in detail and actually showed you how I did it and why I did each step. So I hope that if you recreate this look that you get a similar look. If you don't, and if there's something that you're wondering about, you can just ask me in the comment section and I will definitely get back to you if there was something that I just kind of missed or just didn't talk about because I forgot it. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye, guys!